Eilition ve'oreo Kemo yisho betzireo.
Just in way of introduction, in my eyes, la'anias daiti, if we've passed, we're drawing towards Shkia on Tisha B'Av, on the Jewish 9/11, if you count the months from Tishri. And the Siyata Dishmaya B'Nisei Nisim, it's been a quiet day, and it's quite a reason to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Al Nisecha Shebechol Yom Imonu. I know that the Arabs go with Shkia, and not with Tzeis HaKoichovim. Because I was once on a plane, and an Arab who was keeping Ramadan asked me what time Shkia is. And at Shkia, they brought out their boxes. Don't worry, I told him that Shkia was 5 minutes before, that I should ruin his tinus. But either way, if we arrive at Shkia on Tisha B'Av, and Tisha B'Av is a notorious day, a lot happened on Tisha B'Av. Just one thing that you may not know that happened on Tisha B'Av is that Yaakov, he was Boireach, he ran away from Lavan, says the Chasam Sofer, on Erev Rosh Chodesh Av. And after 7 days, Lavan caught up with him on Vov Ba'av, and on that night the Malach came to Lavan in the Chaloim. On Zayin Ba'av, Lavan and Yaakov were Kore's bris, and Yaakov carried on. He got up in the morning of Ches Ba'av, and he sent Malachim to Esav. Vayira vayetzeloi, vayolen shom balayla hahu. That night was the night of Tisha B'Av, where he saw the Malachim oilim v'yoridim boy. And Tisha B'Av was the day, possibly the first event in history, where the Tzad HaToiv and the Tzad Hara meet. And although Yaakov won, but Vayiga Bekaf Yerech Yaakov, he hit his thigh, which denotes the Doiros Haboim. And since then, Ad Alois HaShacha, until daybreak will arrive, there will always be that fight between the Koyach HaToiv and the Koyach HaRa, Yaakov and Esav, in its various monstrous forms over history. But as Nasrallah so eloquently said, that for every death, or whatever the guy's name was who died, who was killed, we have 10 young jihadistim who are ready to join the ranks. Whoever thinks that they've won the battle of Yaakov against Esav and Yishmael, it's Ad Alois HaShacha. And our avodah is to be magbiah, to lift the Koyach HaToiv, which dissolves automatically the Koyach HaRa, as Chazal tell us, Bizman Sha'akol Koil Yaakov, when we're learning Torah in the Beit Medrash and davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ein hayodai midei Esav. Esav has no koyach. In Tehillim we say, Al choimoisayich Yerushalayim, on your walls Yerushalayim, Hifkadati Shoimrim, I've appointed Shoimrim, guards. Says the Heilige Radak, on this pasuk, who are those shoimrim? the shoymrim are the people who are mispalel kol yoim. Klal Yisrael who learn Torah on a mispalel. We are the shoymrim al choymosayich Yerushalayim. That's just by way of introduction, and I feel an intense akaras hatoiv to the Ribono Shel Olam. Such a day to pass, Baruch Hashem, the Siyata Dishmaya. We have a Emunah and Bitochen weiter in the future, but the Koyach Hatoiv will prevail over the Koyach Hara. I want to spend a few minutes talking about a midah, a central midah that perhaps we don't realize the severity of, that exists in our lives and was one of the main causes of the Churban HaBayis. And the Pasuk says, "Vatirognu b'soich oaleim, vayoimru b'sinas Hashem oisonu hitzionu b'Mitzrayim." They complained, and they complained a number of times throughout the Midbar. And the Payton in the Kinnah says that this was the reason that HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kiviyachol said, "Atem bechisem bechia shel chinom, ani ekver lachem bechia ledoros." You cried for nothing, I'll give you something to cry about. And that was what resulted in the Churban HaBayis. And Nargan is a complainer. In Lashon HaKodesh, a Nargan is a complainer. A complainer, the Chavetz Chaim says, as far as to say in Hilchos Lashon Hara, that if something is avak Lashon Hara, it's avak Lashon Hara. Giving an example of avak Lashon Hara, as you say, this guy, he's always got food coming out of his house. So it can be looked at in two ways. Maybe he's a geschmack bal chesed, and he's always caring to have a full fridge for anybody who wants to come, or he's got boich disease, and he's a fresser. So to somebody who will probably be done the kavzachus, there's no isser of saying such an avak lashon hara. But for somebody who's a chronic complainer, says the Chavetz Chaim, it's asur to give over that piece of information to him, because he is bound to translate it, interpret it in a bad manner. There's people who like, I heard just Derech Agav, a very interesting thing. I have a boch in my yeshiva, it's very out of the box, and he does strange things. Trying to explain to him why it's weird to do weird things. His grandfather is one of the richest Jews, probably in America, maybe in the world. And I think that there's a famous saying that if somebody's rich or famous enough, then they're not weird, they're just a little bit eccentric. So some people like to say, I'm not a complainer, just a critic. He thinks that with a bit of linguistic potpourri he can change. A critic is a complainer, is somebody who brings around Churban HaBayis. So the first aspect of this midah of complaining, finds itself in an incredible Rashi. Rashi says in Parshas Ba'aloisecha Vayehi ha'om k'misroinen, the people were complaining. Why are you complaining? You had the mourn. Life was beautiful. Says Rashi, Vayehi ha'om k'misroinen mechapsim alilo lifroish me'amokim, finding an excuse to pull out, to give up, to throw in the towel. If I know I have to do something and I don't want to do it, I know I have to come to daven, to learn, to be Oved Hashem, it's a shver. So what do? I can give a whole bunch of beautiful shlachmanas of excuses. I would have loved to. I can't. in this situation, if these are the... It's impossible. And there's some people who are just never happy with what they got in life. They always, their pekula is worse than anybody else's. There's some people who think that by complaining they'll feel better. This is false. This is not true. Not only will he not feel better, but something else that comes out of complaining is you mirror it to the whole society, to the whole room that you're in. People who complain create a toxic atmosphere in their shul, in their house, and nothing can be achieved from the complainers. My brother was just involved in the huge fundraising event for the Olam HaTorah in London, and he said people were complaining that it's going to affect local moisters. So I said, no. He said, don't worry. The complainers never give the money. They just complain. If it would have, they'll never give the money. Guys who don't complain, those are the good guys. Some people complain as a way of defending their weaknesses. And some people complain because they feel they're the center of the world. If I'm the center of the world, how can it be that things aren't going my way? What is this? What is this? What is this? How can it be? If I decided Azoy, it should be Azoy. It's not. I complain. Sometimes we complain because we're overspoiled. I have a Korav Mishpacha. He was wealthy. And there was a Bocha. He used to insist that I come out to eat with him. Okay, for me, a Bocha had never been to any restaurant. For me, but they bring the menu, and I'm feeling like Moshe Grois. And I've been there, I don't know what to order. Uncomfortable, comfortable. Tried to order like the middle menu. There was not one dish that this family member who took me, there was not one dish he did not return. There was not one dish he didn't return to the kitchen. This was cold, this was undercooked, and for the dessert, I remember, it was 25 years ago, I remember he ordered a volcano for dessert. Sure what a volcano is, it's like a type of cake with a Har Sinai, and inside there's fudge or whatever, it's liquidy, and the volcano had erupted before it arrived to the table. It had caved in. Maze! So complainers, many reasons why somebody will complain. But what we want to focus on is the reason that people complain is a lack of Hakaras HaTov. If you want to learn how to rectify this midah, Klal Yisrael were in the midbar, they had the man, anything they wanted it could taste like. Beautiful. And they said, Nafsheinu, Yeveisho, Milechem HaKloikelt, take it away. Reb Chaim Shmulevitz said Shir for 50 years. 50 years. Incredible. Reb Chaim Shmulevitz once had a friend, a childhood friend, come to him. And he ate by him. And after the meal, Reb Chaim Shmulevitz was legendary for this. So much so, once Reb Chaim Shmulevitz was sitting with guests at the table on a Friday night, and he cut the bread, the challah, he made hamoitzi, he took a bite, and he said, no. What's he want? So he took one swallow and he says, it's mezonot or hamoitzi, he says to his wife. Is it mezonot or hamoitzi? It tastes like cake. It's delicious. So he had this guest over, and he said to this guest, his guest heard how he lauds his wife, praises his wife. Well, what were they serving? Can't imagine. If it was chicken and potatoes. It was a matzah. Matzah was good. I can't imagine his hasogas in food. He's going on and laying it on thick. And the guy says, come on, you're married 50 years, like what's going on? He said, I've been saying shir for 50 years. And every time we learn the same Gemaras, I say be'erech the same thing. Add a chiddush, take away a chiddush, a new pshat ahin. Actually, famously, the Reb Chaim Shulevitz has only 3 years worth of sichos that he gave in yeshiva, 3 or 4 years worth. And they asked him why he doesn't make new shmuzim. He said, because this is what I want to say. He said, well, change the rayas at least, change your proofs. He said, no, but if these are the best proofs, why should I say worse proofs to prove the Yesod when I can say the better one? So you'll hear it again. He said, I've been saying shir, I've been saying shmuz for 50 years. Yet, when a bocha comes and says, oh, Rebbe, it was a good shir, it gives me such a good feeling. He said, my wife, she has a menu, it's give or take. The same thing crops up once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month. Every time, every hakoras hatoiv, every feeling of shkoyach. When Reb Aryeh comes out, doesn't matter if I'm horse, I'm not horse. After kol nidre, huge, a good feeling. Hakoras hatoiv. So we start understanding the beauty of what's called in Ivrit lefargen, to be mefargen, to be kind with your words. The words rak, ra, kol hayoim, only bad all day, are Rosh Tevos of the word Amalek. Somebody who thinks rak, ra, kol hayoim, Sefer Tevos of Amalek. I saw a beautiful pshat. We say in Tehillim, Mi ha'Ish hechofetz chayim, oyev yomim liras tov, l'tzoi l'shon chomeirah. But one of the Sfarim HaKadoshim, they mefarish the beginning of the pasuk. Mi ha'Ish hechofetz chayim. You want a good life? So be oyev yomim liras tov. If you see the world with pink glasses, if you see the world in a positive light, you will have a good life. I spoke to a Rosh Yeshiva recently. Nobody should ever have to remove any Talmud from any yeshiva. And he told me, if you would have to remove one Talmud from the yeshiva, it's not the Batlan, it's not the guy who's involved in Shtusim, that the one bocha I would remove from my yeshiva is the bocha with a negative attitude, a bocha who's a complainer. There's nothing you can do in your yeshiva if you have people with a negative attitude. You can come to a shul meeting, and if there's some guy for every idea, it's a negative attitude, it's nothing to do. You may as well close the meeting. And those people scientifically, people who are complainers have problems with solution solving. They're not able to find solutions because they're stuck in the problem. They're stuck in the negativity. In the Choyves Halvavos, he writes of Echad HaChasidim, which we have a Kabbalah B'Yodein, as Eliyahu Hanavi was walking and they saw a dead dog. And the people who were there said, "Ooh, this dog stinks." And Eliyahu Hanavi said, what white teeth he has. What does this mean? He didn't smell. The question is, what you're focusing on. You can either focus on the bad. We don't live in a utopian world. But the question is, where do you concentrate your energy? Are you a positive person? Are you a hakaras hatoivid? Is it, wow, look what you did do, look what you did achieve, what can be done, wow? Or are you stuck in negativity? So today, on Tisha B'Av, if we want to take away something with us, let's just be mekabel on ourselves that the root of what caused the Churban HaBayis was complaining, and we should know, doesn't exist, does not exist, somebody who complains to people and doesn't complain to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It may be in his conscious, in his subconscious, he may do it verbally. Does not exist somebody who is a chronic complainer, may start with complaining about people, but it will always end in complaining against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So on this day of Tisha B'Av, if we want to take away, believe me, or don't believe me, do your own thing. No child flourished through criticism. No marriage flourished through criticism. Ayin Toiva, seeing the positive, building, being ma'atzim, growing somebody with, wow, look what you did do, how amazing you are, how much you've grown. The end of the year in the yeshiva that I teach, it's my job. I go around the whole yeshiva at the end of year party, every single bocha, say what he has achieved during that year. I'm just telling you that there's not one bocha who not me, drinking it in, every compliment, heap it on and heap it on and heap it on. Ayin Toiva. We have to have an Ayin Toiva sometimes to see their growth, but that's our job. Our job is to find the Nekuda Toiva. And I just want to finish with an incredible insight from the Heilige Rishna. And the Rishna said as follows. Said the Rishna, when somebody complains in an oifen of kafiyas toiva, he's kafir toiva, he doesn't appreciate the good. He says, I have a bad life. I'm not moida to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So you know what they tell him in Shemayim? In Shemayim they tell him, you think you have a bad life? I'll show you what a bad life is. You want a real bad life? I'll show you. Stop. But I'll show you what a real bad life. And the heifer, on the contrary, somebody who has an ayin toiva and he's makir toiv and he doesn't complain, he sees the good. Says the Heilige Rishna, in Shomayim, you know what they say? In Shomayim they say, you think that's good? You think, I'll show you what's good. You think this is a great life? I'll show you the great life. So in fact it's a no-brainer. Anybody who wants a good life, you be oyev yomim, your lirois toiv, you see the good, you moida to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I can't be mefaret in Mitzvah Hashem, making a chasna in 2 days, and everyone's invited in Mitzvah Hashem. Every time I was moida to HaKadosh Baruch Hu on a nest that I had in helping towards the chasna, the next nest came. I believe now that I'm going to chronicle it because it's absolutely outstanding. Every time I was moida to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, within seconds the next nest came. This is the life. Such a maila. Somebody who will have pink glasses. Not only is his life good now, but the Rishna says, I'll show you what the real good life is. We should all be zoicha, go away with a chizuk in our lives, in our homes, in shul, in our offices, to be that positive, pulsating atmosphere, to be the one to bring a good atmosphere, a hakaras hatoivdika atmosphere, and not chas v'sholem faket, and we'll all be zoicha to a chaim toivim, chaim shel panosa, chaim shel toiva, chaim sheyemale Hashem mishalos livenu letoiva.
כמו אישה בציר